Hey, it's Dan and Charlie here, and we just want to welcome you.
Guys, I've got this, okay? Hey guys, welcome to Fearless TV. This show has been brought to you by the youth and young adults in Hillsong, London.
Yes, it has, Eric. That's good. We've got a great show in store for you today, haven't we? Our fearless youth, young adult leaders are joining us again, and we've got some incredible stories of people living life the fearless way. If you've never heard of the Fearless Generation, why don't you check out this video?
Fear is subtle. It creeps up on you, slowly oozing over every orifice in your mind. An invisible chain, a doubt that leads to demand to remain in comfort in the current. It clouds truth, it ensnares hope, it holds your future captive, keeps your life on hold. You could be living in fear without even realizing it. Fear and faith are fruit of what we choose to focus on. I was told I'd never amount to anything or fulfill my dreams. I thought I'd be laughed at, mocked. I looked at my future and saw nothing until I realized loneliness is a lie, worry is a lie, anxiety is a lie, failure, doubt, death, all lies. Fear is a lie, and the truth has set me free. We are a generation who walk by faith, not by fear. A generation whose foundation is scripture, not society. To fear is to trust. And we are a generation that refuses to trust and lie. Therefore we stand bold, we stand courageous, we stand victorious. The fearless generation.
And so today we're going to be continuing our conversation from last time. Don't worry if you missed it, you can still get involved, because here are some of the highlights.
I'm learning more. It's less about people and it's more about you, what you represent, because there will be a storm that comes to knock down everything that you stand for, but you just have to keep planting your feet again and anchoring your faith.
So as you just saw last time, we had a great conversation about the keys to success. We're loving you guys getting involved in the conversation at home and online.
As Dan said, we're continuing from last time with Arrow Benjamin back in the studio today.
We're going to jump straight into it. For those of them who are watching today and didn't see you last time you were on the show, Arrow, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Basically, I'm a singer-songwriter. Over the last 2 years, I've basically jumped out onto the main stage as the artist, and I have a collaboration, my first record with Beyonce and Naughty Boy.
How many hits does that song has, or how big is it?
Wow, it's been #1 in many countries all over the world. It's not in its highest rotation in the UK right now, as when it first came out. It's constantly being played.
Wow.
You know, I walk down the streets and sometimes I'm just having a little bit of a miserable moment, and then I hear a car go past, running. Yeah, so
That's good.
yeah.
Amazing. So we want to chat to you a little bit. We want to find out about success and, because maybe what the world says about success is different to what the word says about success.
Yeah.
So let's start talking about what would you say the keys to success are in a relationship in family? Because I know not only are you a singer-songwriter, but you're actually part of our church.
Yeah.
You serve on the kids team.
Yeah.
I've seen you there wearing the blue t-shirt.
Yeah.
So what would you say the keys to have a successful relationship in your family would look like?
Sacrifice, loyalty,
Nice.
commitment, transparency,
Yeah.
and to be accountable.
Right.
Yeah, great.
Amazing. Transparency, I love that. That's another word which maybe gets thrown around and we don't really chat much about. So how would you say we would be transparent with our parents? Because it's that awkward moment, isn't it? It's how much of what's going on in life do you actually share with your parents? You've got kids, so you got any insight for that?
What I would say is I'm learning more and more every day in my life. You heard it thrown around as a phrase at different points in your life, like what's in the dark shall come to light. And I also know as a believer that I am a child of the light. So I don't need to wait.
Wow, yeah,
let's
great.
just get to the honest moment quickly.
It's good.
And I've never seen people hate each other based on truth.
Right.
Wow.
You know, be uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but not hate.
Right.
Amazing. What other major keys do we think would create a healthy relationship?
I think comfort as well, because going to family for like consolidation and like sort of seeking comfort in your parents is like means a lot to me. So anytime I feel down, you know, I could go for comfort and I could be my most vulnerable around them, and I don't have to put on the gauze, I don't have to put on the mask.
Right.
Yeah, I
I
love
just be
that.
myself. So
Good.
Yeah.
comfort,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
I like
I
it.
think that's a major key. You know, and I think that varies in the different relationships that you're in. Because I know that when I go back to my parents' house, that is the place where I just feel so relaxed. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I don't care what I say, what I do, what I look like, anything. You slob about, because your parents are sort of a lot of the time those sorts of people. But I think, you know, really you do want in all spheres of your life a couple of people that you feel like that with, whether it's your friends. You know, I feel like that with Dan, my husband, and everything. But I think in all areas of your life, you need those people that you can just be true to who you are. You can take off the mask. You can just be however you want to be. And that's when you know they're good friends or a good partner or whatever. You know those friends that you can just go to. You don't even have to speak. It's okay. You don't even have to make conversation. You can just sit there. You can just chill on the couch, and they're not going to be like, "You all right? You okay?" You know, it's just those people in your life. So I think that's a major key.
I love that.
Having people that you're comfortable with, that you can
Because
be
maybe,
yourself with.
yeah, because maybe like your family life at home, it is that place where you can be yourself and be real, but maybe it's not. And you know, a lot of the time you can't choose your family, and we truly believe that regardless of what it's like at home, you know, God can still do amazing things in and through your life.
Yeah.
So how would we see this in our friendships, right? So if we don't have any choice about what it's like at home, if we're actually, what we do have choice about is our friends. We can choose who we can hang around with. Like, I don't know, like how would you guys from this side, Joey, how would you go about like finding good friends where you can be honest and open and vulnerable and transparent with them?
I know I can tell a good friend by who they hang around with, because ultimately, if I'm gonna inject myself into that community, that's ultimately how I'm gonna become in the next couple of weeks or months. The Bible talks about honor, and it talks about honoring your mother and father. And for a little while, I didn't really know what honor meant, but honor actually just means to put value upon. So
good, Joe.
whether it's your family or whether it's your friends, I think incredible things can happen once you put value on people, and you start seeing that come back to you as well, but in a really natural and gracious way.
Yeah.
In terms of parents, and like I came from a background where a lot of people weren't Christians. My brother wasn't a Christian, my mum wasn't a Christian, and my younger brother wasn't a Christian. And you know, working for church as one of the youth pastors, sometimes you can come home and you know, life can be perfect on the outside, and you come home and you're a completely different person. And I think the thing that helped my family this year, especially when everybody came to church, and now my younger brother's come to church, my mum came to church, and all of that came not because of the person I was, but you know, the life I lived when I was home. And sometimes I had to go home and not be the pastor, I had to go home and be the son. I had to go home and be the bigger brother. And sometimes the life you live is, you know, that's someone else's Bible, you know. Other Christians who they don't read the Bible, they don't know God, they look at your life, and what you're showing them is, you know, an introduction to God, an introduction to His love and His grace. And man, it's just amazing to see how far my family has come in a short period of time. But that came from me going home and loving my brother, and just being a son, not having all the answers. So.
You effectively become like the people you hang around with, don't you?
Yeah, pretty much.
So you going home to your family just being who you are,
Yeah.
they're naturally going to see that, be drawn to that, and like you said, now they even come to church. And I think that's a major key that we're talking about there. That's why it's so important with thinking about who you hang around with in your friendships or group. You know, if you're hanging around with negative people, I guarantee you're going to be a negative person.
Yeah.
If you hang around with people that are gossiping, you're going to be a gossip. But if you
Yeah.
hang around with positive people that speak into your potential, who you are, that's how you're going to act and who you're going to become as well.
Amazing. Arrow, what other major keys do you think there are in healthy relationships?
Be patient.
Right.
Yeah.
Be patient.
Yeah.
I'm a living testimony that it doesn't happen overnight. So don't expect that from everything and everybody else. You know, take time. Even Dad rested on the seventh day. Like,
Yeah,
come on,
right.
take time.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Patience. That's
I love it.
Patience.
I think patience is another major key. I know for me, I've had to be so patient now, I'm joking. I know Charlie has had to be so patient with me. And the things we've got to remember that we're all work in progress. Like no
Yeah.
one's perfect, no
Yeah.
one's like this finished, like done. No, actually it takes time. And as we grow in God, we actually become, more like Jesus, which is a cool thing.
Yeah.
Like we become like more generous and more gracious and stuff like that. But we're all in transformation process. And
Yeah.
so to be patient with one another is amazing. And there's a dam in Arizona called the Hoover Dam. And even though it's been established for many years, the concrete in the middle is still setting. And I think that's a lot like our lives.
Yeah, wow.
Like we look like we're done, we're completed, like God has made us. But actually, who we are on the inside, God is still forming that day after day, year
Yeah.
after year. And so actually having patience in a relationship is so important. We got a great question here. This person's asking, how can they be a good friend to someone who has a completely different lifestyle from them?
My best friend isn't in church. She kind of believes in God, but isn't really there yet. But for me, the way that I stay a good friend to her is being able to know who I am in God first and be sturdy in that and be able to say that I can't be moved by, what you want to do or what you want to say to me. But I'll always be there for you, and I'll try and somehow feed in the word of God there and try and help you apply it to your life, and then somehow hopefully just pray for you that she'll come to church when it's like big things. And then I do believe that God, that one day something will turn kind of the road for her and allow her to meet God in her own way. But it's just knowing yourself, knowing where you stand, and then being able to be open to her to say whatever she wants and be that open book and that, again, that comfort place and that security where they can come to you without the fear of kind of judgment,
Great.
which a lot of people might really feel when it comes to Christians per se. Just be open to what they want to say to you and be like, hey, I still love you regardless of whatever happens. Like, I'm your best friend.
Yeah,
Being Christian doesn't change that, really.
Yeah.
Shouldn't change that.
cool.
I think Lorna's really hit on a good point there, because I think in our generation, we actually need to start taking responsibility for ourselves and our growth.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about honor, but I think we sometimes need to work on being honorable.
Yeah.
Because our generation likes to talk, but I think we need to learn to listen a little bit.
Yeah.
Great.
And that's a major key to being a good friend, I think.
Yeah.
I reckon,
great.
sorry, off the back of that, just like having those friends that do all that stuff, and they may look at you and go, well, you go to church, I want to go to church. And it's having that thing where our friendship isn't based around something.
Yeah.
Our
Right.
friendship is based around us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So let's
good.
find something that we like to do
Yeah.
and hang out and come over to my house and do that kind of stuff. And I've realised with lots of my friends that they do stuff that I don't want to do, and I do stuff that they don't want to do.
Yeah.
So
Right.
we find stuff in the middle, and we're just built off who we are and that
Yeah.
kind of stuff. And yeah, you find that mutual ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, I like in the Message translation when it says, first you were loved, now love. And I think it's just like what Ben was saying. I don't think we need to bash the Bible, but we just need to be the Bible.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good.
Very cool.
What Dan Watson said in terms of we are the church wherever we go. Maybe this is a question for Arrow. How can you, if you're a Christian and you're surrounded by people who don't believe in what you believe in, and sometimes you can feel alone and maybe isolated, like people don't understand or agree with what you're doing, how can you go about?
I realize more and more, so I've got a funny way of speaking. Yeah, like somebody asks me one question and they say, but why are you going around the houses? And I've realized that I don't plan to do it. It's just the way that I speak. Now, there's somebody who sits and observes how I speak, and they say, no, I see something there that I gravitate to. And now there's a conversation. And then there's somebody else who constantly, as soon as you open your mouth, they go, "Arr," like this. Not everybody, you know, you're not going to basically make it work with everybody. But Jesus can make whoever is wanting and seeking can use you to work for them.
Wow, yes.
You know. And in my industry, I work with people every single day, atheists, agnostics, like everything. But there's something about, the Bible says your gift shall make a way. There's nothing that can prevent the love of God coming through but us. You were speaking about it, saying, find the common ground. I once heard somebody say, don't look at people as a project, look at them as people. And basically, you found something you love. You don't necessarily love what you love because Jesus exists. You just found something you love. It's about now how much you allow Jesus to transform the things that you love into the things that he can use to love people. You know,
Very good.
so.
I love that, man. So, if you've just tuned in, we're talking about successful relationships, and I just love what you just said there, Ara. I just think it's so important that we realize that the good news, the gospel, is not something you shove, it's something that you share.
Yeah.
It's not an argument, it's an announcement. It can come out just by us living out that life that God's called us to live. We're going to go to a little video right now. This thing's called Awkward, and we've gone out in the streets with some of our guys, a couple of young people, and we said, hey, how about you overcome the fear of man? Stop caring about what people think and stop worrying about what people might say about you. Why don't you live fearless? Check this out.
What's up and welcome to Awkward. My name is Benito.
And I'm Joey.
And Awkward is all about going into the world and facing the fear of mankind.
That's right, and we are in the very
heartbeat
of London,
That's right,
in Piccadilly
Joe.
Circus. And it's full of tourists.
Yeah.
And tourists do two things. They, number one, get the London style. And we've got just the thing, Harbour London, of which we are sponsored by. Thank you very much. And number two, I'm going to tell you. But first, we've got a few people that we want to introduce to you guys.
Yes,
We've
do.
got King Mike K.
King Mike K.
Yeah,
and
we
we
the
have
boys.
the Brooks boys in the
Yeah.
building today.
How you boys doing?
What's up, boys?
Are you good?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Are you feeling good?
I'm always feeling
Are you feeling
good, man.
fearless?
Always feeling fearless.
Amazing. That is incredible. Benito, what are these guys going to do?
So you guys are going to walk around and try and shake people's hands. But not just any type of shake, a very long shake.
Oh!
Wait,
shake.
until it gets awkward. But Joe, we're in London, right?
That's
and how do
right.
you greet people in London?
Hey!
Check this out, guys. It's going to be crazy.
Right, we need to find somewhere where there's loads of people. Do I know you? Do I know you? Do I know you? Oh, nice to meet you. I'm Kyle. How do you, man? I just come in London right now. Is this the first time being here? No. Oh, okay. I know you as well. No. Yeah. What's your name? It's you. Hey, what's up, bro?
Who are
How you doing? I'm Kyle. How you doing? We met in summer, right?
Nah.
We didn't meet in summer? No.
Who are you? Where did you meet me?
Met you at barbecue, right? Yeah, we did.
Which barbecue? Where?
In Jess's house. In summer? Around about July.
Why are you both shaking my head?
Oh, we like. Well, we're just polite, man.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Great.
What are you guys up to?
Just chilling, man. What are you up
Yeah.
to? You good?
Just taking photos.
Oh yeah.
Taking
What
photos.
photos have you got? Show us your pictures, man. Are they good? Well, that's it. Lovely to meet you, and I will see you soon, bro. Take care.
Wonderful.
See you. Look after yourself, mate. Swear. Last one, just me.
This is how you win. It's easy. Hey, bro. Amazing mannequin. Who will win? How do you not blink? I feel like you win, mate. Thanks, pal.
And today's winner has to be Joey. Michael!
Yeah!
That's what I'm saying. I told you I was going to win. I told you, boys.
It's that stamina, man.
Unlucky. Well done for trying.
Well done.
Wow, well
so
done.
devastated.
Mikey,
Come back next year.
You really, really proved that you can go into the world and face the fear of mankind. That's it
Awesome.
from us. Peace.
How crazy was that? That is nuts. We got more awkward moments coming up. But right now, we're going to continue our conversation on keys to success. And today, we're looking at fearless relationships and how you can have healthy, good, strong relationships. So we've separated the boys from the girls. All right, well, I'm here with Josh and Carl, a couple of lads who are in our youth ministry. Boys, you had a question for the girls, didn't you?
I do. So, we're 17 years old, and we just want to know, What is the age you think that we should take a relationship seriously? Like, do we bother? Or...
What age to date? That is good.
That's a really good question.
Well, I think you should take every relationship seriously at any age because it's never a joke. But also, when I was growing up, my parents' rule for me was that I wasn't allowed a boyfriend until I finished school, so until I finished my GCSEs. So I got a boyfriend when I was in sixth form. But yeah, I think just kind of getting the distraction of school and everything, you need to focus on that for a while. But then after that, I guess you can start to make decisions about your future, but it depends on the person, so whatever works for you.
Someone's actually written in, and it's directed to the girls, and they're saying, how do you let a guy down nicely?
The way you interact with someone is the way that you interact with someone. You can tell someone the truth without being rude.
Right. Yeah.
Like, and I think honesty is the best policy. Anyone that knows me knows I'll tell you the truth. So I just think, like, it's better to be intentional. I think, like, we as females like for men to be really intentional, and we'll say, like, no, the guy has to talk to me and the guy has to tell me this, blah 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 blah. But sometimes, like, I think it's important, if you know that you're not interested and you know that maybe he's interested in you, it's important to tell him the truth and just let him know there and then, and you can continue your friendship if you've got a friendship, and that's it. Everyone's happy.
Wisdom right there.
Wisdom
I
right
like
there.
it.
I like that a lot. You just said there, Helena, that the girls expect a lot of the time the guys to talk to them and say where it's at with them, make the first move, yeah, that sort of thing. Boys, do you think the girls should sometimes be telling you where they're at, making the first move, or do you think it is your responsibility?
I reckon the girls need to, like, put a foot out there as well, show interest. It can't. The girls have to give some percentage of the way and let a guy know where he stands as well. And I think one of the cool things is what I love about my missus is that. Like, she's just got confidence as well. So it's not arrogance, it's not anything like that, but it's confidence. She knows who she is, and and so she doesn't look to me to affirm her. She's already got that, but it's great when I do. But yeah, I think girls just need to have that bit of confidence as well. And if that guy's not approaching you, then just, send in that right emoji and everything.
I think we should actually put that down as a major key, because girls, for us guys, I reckon confidence is one of the biggest things we're actually attracted to. So I know sometimes we think looks, we think this, we think that, but actually, like, when a girl is confident, like, that's what we're actually drawn to. I know with Charlie, she, like, her hair blew in the wind, and, like, there was just her smile. Like, there was obviously a lot there, but when we chatted, it was her confidence, and not just confidence in material things, who she was, what she had. It was a confidence in God, and I was so attracted to that. Like, I just wanted to know her more. So
I was actually so confident, girls, that I went over and I gave him my number. So
yeah, I was shocked. I wasn't even expecting that. In fact, I said goodbye after the first conversation, because I came up and had a conversation first, like, introduced myself, and then I'm walking away. I'm like, I might never see this girl again. Should I get her number? No, I don't want to be too forward. Next thing I know, tap my shoulder, turn around, she's like, here's my number. But, so, I reckon another major key, girls, you might agree with me here, that we should bring back chivalry, right? What does chivalry look like?
Treating her like a lady, opening the door for her, being on time for her, carrying her bags, offering to carry her bags. Those things, I don't expect them, but when it happens, it's the most attractive thing.
Let's just wrap it up. What was the 1, 2, 3 major keys that we pulled on today? Let me hear. Confidence, patience, chivalry, accountability, vulnerability, transparency, confidence. Amazing, loads of stuff there.
That's awesome.
For bonus footage, bloopers, and behind-the-scenes content, check out our YouTube page, Fearless TV UK. Check out our social media channels at Fearless TV UK. # The Fearless Generation.
Why don't we put our hands together and thank Arrow Benjamin for being on the show. Right, we're going to finish this episode with a little bit of Boys vs Girls, Human Pyramid. Let's go. Yes, that's it.